For this problem, we're actually going to graph this function. Notice that the basic function is the absolute value of x, which means the shape is going to be a V shape. Now, if you want to understand the shifts, you can rewrite it like this, which means that plus 6 is going to move it up 6, and then that negative that's on the outside, because what's going on is your basic function is y equals the absolute value of x. That means that negative is taking all those positive y values and flipping them upside down. So instead of being up here, they're going to be down here. So that means it's going to be flipped over the x-axis. So if you flip over the x-axis and then you move it up 6, it should look something like this. And I'm not going to worry too much about being totally accurate. I just want a basic idea of how the function looks. Now you can also type in your graphing calculator. So let's go to y equals. I'm going to type it in the way it's written, 6 minus absolute value of x. I like to find the absolute value underneath the catalog key, which is second 0, and you'll see the ABS, which is the first thing. Enter, and then the x, and then graph, and you'll see that. So everything looks pretty accurate. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at these problems, and the problem's asking to determine the intervals where it's increasing, decreasing, and any max or min. Now the first thing I want to do is find this point. Well, since absolute value of x starts at 0, 0, when you just moved it up 6, that means that point is 0, 6. 0, 6 is all what that point is right there. And I'm going to use that to answer all these questions. Where's it increasing? I may not scroll down, but that's what all these parts are asking. Increasing. Well, remember, if you've seen previous videos or if you've seen this before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this off right in there. And what that is, if you look, it's crossing the x-axis at 0. So that's our x value we're going to be looking at. So on our increase and decrease, we always go from left to right. So from the left, which means it's coming from negative infinity, it's going up. See that? So it's increasing from negative infinity to that x value, because when you do increase and decrease, you only do x values. And that x value is 0. I always use parentheses also. And then it's decreasing from that x value, which is still 0. And then how far right does it go? It goes forever to the right. So we use infinity. Now we're looking for max and min, relative max and min. Now relative max, which I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so you can see how it looks, how it's going to ask you. It's going to say has a maximum or minimum at, you stay what the y value is, it's a y value, at x equals so and so. So let's just go back up here. Well, this has a max because a max looks like this, a min looks like this. So there's no min because there's nothing looks like that. So the max is actually y equals 6, or just 6, at x equals 0. And that's how these kinds of problems, the way they're set up, they'll want you to write it like that. So I just want to leave off the y, just say at 6, or is 6 at x equals 0. And then we have the graph on our screen. It doesn't have a low value, a valley. And so you just pick B part that doesn't have one. And that's how you do.